So our remote start kit is installed, and already I'm seeing the benefits. I've used it quite a few times over the last few days already. I think by the end of the winter I'll be happy that I installed it and the trouble will be worthwhile. Overall not too bad to install. I mean, I was a little frustrated at times, but I'm 6'5", 270 pounds. I don't fit under the dash of a truck very well, so if you're handy with wiring, it might be pretty easy for you. So overall, so far, I'd give it so-so, but over the winter it might turn into a good value. Gotta love that rumble. Video, we're going to talk about a remote start kit from 12 Volt Solutions. I'm not going to do a full how to install, just more of an overview and review. So let's look in the box and see what we got. So we've got a microfiber towel. That would be good for interior cleaning. We've got the control module. That's going to be the brains. We've got a T harness here. So this is going to go to the ignition switch, and then the black end goes to your module. Your parking light, if you want your parking lights illuminated, so you're going to connect that wire to a parking light wire under the dash, and you've got a ground that you've got to connect, and also your fuse. We've got another wire tap in module, or sorry, T connection here. This T connection is going to go to the body control module, which is under the dash. These other ends are going to go to that. We've also got a couple zip ties to secure it under your dash. You've got the wire tap to hook up your parking light wire, and directions to the website, which have the full installation instructions and videos. I checked out those videos, they're pretty good, so follow those videos. They go through it in detail. And to install this kit, you should have some basic mechanical and wiring knowledge, but pretty straightforward. Most people could do that by themselves. You should have a pair of wire strippers and crimpers for it as well. So we'll get some shots of this kit in the truck, and then we'll test it and give a review. So just a couple more things before we start. I've gone through the instructions, and if you're using the OEM remote, according to the instructions, we're going to have to cut and splice 2 wires on here. So it says green and whites. So the 2 careful not to cut the other 2. And we're not going to use this. That's for the long range remotes, I guess. So I'm just going to pull them out of this label. So we got to strip these 2, splice those together, and strip that back and put a tap on that one. Also, I'm going to do that. So these are the included connectors. We've attached those 2 wires together and put our spade for the T connector on there. I added some shrink wrap, and I'm going to shrink wrap this as well. I'm going to put this right over and try and seal the end and shrink that up. So I've got my first harness connected in here, and one tip would be to connect the ignition side first. The video says to connect, or shows connecting the wire side first, just do the opposite. So trying to, yeah, this one. Do that one first, and then, sorry, and then this one. This one second. You'll find it much easier. I had a hard time getting those two ends connected. Just with the wire fitment, if the wires were shorter in between, it would work better. But yeah, those two white connectors that you see there are the ends of the T-harness. If the length of wire between those was shorter, it would be much easier, because essentially you're adding length in there. You got to move stuff around. Next up, we've got to add our T connector to the BCM on the purple wire. Do that. So I'm starting to get a little bit frustrated. This is advertised as a simple plug and play kit. One of the issues being that, well, you got to get way up in there. It's very tight space. You get a lot of wires to juggle, move around, and connect. I've already had to cut wires, crimp connectors on, so for me that's not really plug and play. And to find another issue with this is that, like, why is this wire separate? Because it goes down near the BCM, which is where this end is, but the wire is at the complete opposite end. So you got to run that wire all the way back, and you can follow the harness, but shouldn't it be part of the harness? So yeah, these taps are a pain in the butt to get on. They're not simple crimp on, because you got to remove the sheathing to get at the wires to crimp them onto. But I don't know, so far pain in the butt. I'd probably rather pay someone to do this than do it myself, to be honest now, but I thought it was going to be easy. So let's see if I change my mind when I'm done. So another thing, to me this is way too far. These wires should be much shorter, because this is a T connector. You're moving, so this replaces what's going into the BCM. Say the BCM's here, this is going into the BCM, and the connector that was going into the BCM right here is pushed all the way back to there. So you've got to wiggle that wire, and you've got all that space. It's just extra wire. So they probably would have saved some money on these kits with shorter wires and made the install much easier. So I've got all my wiring harnesses running up along here and coming out here. Ground attached, parking light wire attached back there. Sorry you can't see that. Right up in there. I've got some extra wiring here. This is a trailer brake controller. I've also got the Bully Dog hooked up to the OBD2 port, and there's a connector sitting right behind here, and then that comes up here to the dash. So I've got lots of extra wire for this job. I'm going to look at the video and the instructions again, get this cleaned up, get this zip tied up, connect that again. Then I got to hook up the control box, get that programmed, get the dash panel back on. So it's going, the hard part's done. Now it's just cleaning things up. So I'm running into another issue. The install video does not show where to connect the module, or where a suggested location to mount it would be. I would think right here would be a good spot, but unfortunately the main connector is way too short, so that's not going to work. And then our secondary connector is way too long, so we're going to have to bundle up that wire and stick it somewhere. Yeah, I thought this kit would be specific for Titan because it said it was. Looks like it's not. Other issue. This is the control box. 2 wires connect to this side. These 2 wires are supposed to connect to the other side. So I'm gonna have to peel this back and figure out how to get those to the other side, and that's not going to be that good because, I mean, if I want to mount it flat, I can't run them on the back. I'm going to have to do something like this, which is not ideal, but whatever, we'll get it figured out. We'll show you where I mount it to so you can have an idea where you can use yours if you decide to get this kit. Yeah, I wish they had the install videos on their website available for everyone, so you could have a look at the install instructions before you buy it, as opposed to only giving you access when you purchase it. So a little bit more to do, but we're getting closer. So I'm having an issue here. This black is 3 into 1, and it's kind of trapped my green wire here, and I need this to go to the other side, and it won't reach. So I'm not sure if I'm going to have to cut a wire and splice it, solder it back together, but not what I was expecting for a plug-and-play kit. I'm going to contact these guys and just, I don't know, let them know they need to think these things out a little bit better. Online the reviews are great, but this is just one thing after another. So I got everything back together. What I did was I left it sitting across here. The wiring kind of holds it pretty strongly on that side, and then I did one zip tie to the metal brace here. That's all I could really do because the wire wasn't long enough to get it closer up along there. I got my Bully Dog wiring cleaned up. I got my trailer brake controller wiring cleaned up, so everything is tucked up there, not hanging down anymore. So I'm happy about that. Remote kit's installed. Let's go try it. So days like today with fresh snow is when you really want it. Get the truck warmed up. So 3 locks on the OEM key fob. So normally the parking lights would illuminate, but since it's already kind of dark and there's snow above the sensor, the lights just come on with the truck with the automatic lights on. So success. It's not a beginner job. It wasn't fun to get up in there, and you do have to have basic electrical wiring knowledge or experience to make it go smoothly. Someone who's done these before would think this is pretty simple, easy peasy, but not when you got to reach up under the dash like that. If it was all the wiring was out on the bench, I would say it would be pretty easy, but I'd rather turn a wrench than do wiring. So not my strong suits. Took me pretty much the afternoon to do it, 2-3 hours. So thanks for watching. If this video was interesting or helpful, please subscribe and enable all notifications. Thanks.